Get ready for some amazing boxing action from 2023. We saw some of the coolest and most exciting fights this year. Big punches, super fast moves, and some of our favorite boxers going head-to-head. Whether you're a big fan or just getting into boxing, you're going to love looking back at these awesome moments. So, grab your popcorn, and let's jump into the world of boxing to see what made 2023 a year to remember. Garcia versus Davis. During a time when fighters were cherry-picking opponents to protect their perfect records and titles, two undefeated stars Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Ryan Garcia agreed to a highly anticipated matchup, offering fans an exciting dream bout. Tank was the favorite headed into the matchup, but with both men possessing exceptional skills and knockout power that could end fights in an instant. It was truly a match that could go either way. The non-title bout took place at a catch weight of 136 pounds, with a 10 pounds rehydration clause, and the trash towel was heavy between these two. In the opening round, both fighters displayed aggression, with Garcia utilizing quick right hands and inside shots in round 2. However, it was Davis who scored a knockdown with a beautiful counter right hand after Garcia missed a lead left hook. Davis's power was recognized as his greatest weapon, yet it was his technical advantages, experience, and ring intelligence that ultimately aided him. He spent most of the fight landing precise body shots to slow Garcia down. Ultimately, one of these body shots ended Garcia's night in a notably one-sided affair. Some believed Garcia retreated and could have continued, raising questions about his resilience, while for Davis, this victory elevated him to a new level among boxing's elite. Inoue versus Fulton. Over recent years, Naoya Inoue has emerged as one of the most talked about superstars globally, showcasing skills, speed, and an insatiable hunger for victory. The Japanese fighter remains unbeaten throughout his career, having secured championships in 3 different divisions. Following his undisputed victory at bantamweight in his previous fight, Inoue sought his next challenge against unified WBO and WBC 122-pound champion Stephen Fulton, aiming to continue his impressive streak by unifying titles. Facing Naoya Inoue in Japan presents one of boxing's most formidable challenges today, and Fulton understood the magnitude of this task when agreeing to the bout at the Ariake Arena in Tokyo. Although Fulton entered this clash as an unbeaten world champion and a top 10 fighter and held the size advantage. From the opening bell, Inoue showcased why he's nicknamed the Monster, immediately putting Fulton on the defensive. Throughout the fight, Fulton struggled to respond to Inoue's relentless attacks, and in round 3, Inoue not only bloodied Fulton's nose but dominated him from any distance, using 4-punch combinations while in motion. Despite Fulton's resilience, Inoue's pressure broke through in round 8 with a vicious combination of a right hand followed by a winging left hook that dropped Fulton. Although Fulton rose, Inoue swarmed him in the corner, causing the referee to stop the fight. This one elevated Inoue to a world champion in a 4th division, making him the second ever Japanese fighter to achieve this feat. Canelo versus Charlo. After an impressive showing against John Ryder, Canelo was set to return to the ring against Jermall Charlo in a bout that surprised fight fans worldwide. However, it marked the first ever battle between undisputed champions in boxing history, as Charlo moved up 2 weight classes, aiming to add a second undisputed title to his collection. While Alvarez risked his super middleweight championships against the undisputed junior middleweight champ, no one underestimated Canelo entering this matchup. He remained one of the world's best and was the clear favorite heading into the fight. However, Charlo's impressive resume suggested he could pull off an upset. But at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, it was like watching a prime Mayweather school a young Canelo all over again, with Canelo taking the role of the professor this time. Though he didn't secure a knockout victory, Canelo scored a round 7 knockdown and dominated the 12 rounds in a one-sided bout. Maintaining his reign as King, Canelo playing the role of the lion tamer to Charlo's lion and humbling a determined challenger whose ambition surpassed his capability. Ngannou versus Fury. The world of boxing has witnessed notable crossover fights in recent years, and this year was no exception, with Tyson Fury set for a clash against MMA powerhouse Francis Ngannou. Many had given Ngannou no chance at all, feeling his boxing skills were no match for Fury's athleticism and rock-solid defensive style. They expected a glorified sparring match, something like Floyd Mayweather Jr. battling Conor McGregor. Even Fury couldn't hide his lack of concern for his opponent. An overconfident Fury stepped through the weigh-ins, making jokes about taking Ngannou to school. Fight night arrived, and Ngannou was in the fight from the opening bell, enduring most of Fury's big punches and retaliating. However, jaws dropped as Ngannou dropped Fury in the 3rd round, battered him in the 8th, and overall delivered a beatdown to the Gypsy King. Further surprise followed when a split decision winner was announced, and it wasn't Ngannou. Many questioned the decision, feeling Gano had been robbed. Gano himself believed he had done enough to win, a sentiment hard to dispute considering the bewildered look on his opponent's face. In the end, it was a valiant effort from a debutant who announced himself to boxing fans in tremendous fashion. Garcia versus Duarte. In the aftermath of his loss against Tank Davis, Garcia's reputation as a top boxing prospect took a hit, not just due to the defeat itself, but also the manner in which it unfolded. Seeking redemption, Garcia aimed to regain ground against his Mexican opponent, Oscar Duarte. Duarte, while not anywhere Tank Davis's level, was no pushover with an impressive record of 26 victories, a single loss, and a solitary draw, along with 21 knockouts. Duarte was far from an easy opponent, and there was a possibility of a second career loss for Garcia, who returned to the 140-pound division after a brief venture into a 136-pound catchweight clash against Tank. Eager to bounce back from the painful first defeat of his career, Garcia approached the fight cautiously, especially reacting to Duarte's pressure by avoiding exchanges in most of the middle rounds, a strategy that drew boos from the crowd. However, in round 8, Garcia reminded boxing fans of his explosive blend of speed and power. He unleashed a flurry of punches, starting with a counter left hook that hurt Duarte, and followed up with combinations. Although Duarte rose from the count, referee James Green decided to stop the fight. This victory not only marked Garcia's comeback after his defeat to Tank, but also signaled a strong start to his collaboration with his new coach, Derrick James. Haney versus Prograis in a bout for the WBC Lightweight Championship. Devin Haney was set to face WBC Junior Welterweight champion Regis Prograis, entering the fight with a 30-match unbeaten streak. After proving himself against top fighters in the lightweight division, securing victories over former unified title holders George Kambosos Jr. and Vasily Lomachenko, Haney was about to enter his first fight at 140 pounds. But, on the other hand, Prograis had suffered his first defeat in October 2019 but bounced back to hold the super welterweight belt for 13 months. Inside a sold-out Chase Center, Haney and Prograis started cautiously in the opening rounds, gradually transitioning from a defensive to a more aggressive approach. However, it was Haney who excelled in the attacking game, showcasing superior skills. Haney's speed, pinpoint accuracy, and the power in his right hand became evident early on. A beautifully executed counter right hand from Haney floored Prograis in round 3, marking a strong start for Haney in his debut at 140 pounds. Despite Prograis getting back up, he faced repeated hits, leading to a cut on his nose by the halfway mark, and Haney continued to dominate the fight, showcasing impressive work, particularly in the 9th round. With this victory, Haney extended his streak and solidified his reputation in the boxing world, establishing himself as a fighter to closely watch in the years to come. Wilder versus Parker. After years of speculation about his next opponent and having boxed just one round over the past 2 years since his trilogy fight against Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder finally returned. The co-main event took place at Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, against former WBO title holder Joseph Parker, and Wilder weighed in at 213 pounds, his lightest since his initial bout against Fury in 2018. A notable 25 pounds lighter than his weight in the 2021 trilogy loss to Fury. Parker had faced setbacks at the elite level, with losses to Anthony Joshua in a title unification bout in 2018 and Dillian Whyte later that year. However, since being stopped by Joe Joyce in September, Parker had shown improvement, heading into the matchup with a 4-match winning streak. Despite this, many doubted his chances against Wilder's destructive power. In the opening rounds, Wilder was cautious, possibly affected by ring rust, while Parker dominated from the start, utilizing powerful right-hand punches. The momentum heightened in the 3rd round when Parker landed a strong left hook that rocked Wilder. Wilder's footwork seemed affected by notably thinner legs, resulting in awkward movement, fighting at a distance, and circling backward unnecessarily. This distance allowed Parker to effectively mix body shots and stiff jabs, setting up his looping right hands, while evading Wilder's occasional straight right hands in return. Wilder appeared hesitant or unable to unleash his punches throughout the fight, and Parker seemed the superior fighter, nearly securing a stoppage in round 8 as he hurt Wilder with a right hand and continued with combinations until the final bell. Despite building a substantial lead on the scorecards, Parker remained aggressive, seeking a knockout in round 12 and never facing trouble at any point in the fight. The unanimous decision unsurprisingly favored Parker as Wilder outlanded him in just one of the 12 rounds. Joshua versus Wallin. One man seen as a dream potential matchup for Wilder, Anthony Joshua, also competed on the same night at the same event. Joshua, a former WBA, IBF, and WBO titles, has faced scrutiny in recent years due to a perceived decline in his performances. However, he didn't let that bother him, entering his third fight of the year, having already secured victories against Jermaine Franklin Jr. by unanimous decision in April and stopped Robert Helenius in August, albeit in non-spectacular fashion. This time, he would face Otto Wallin, heading into the fight as the strong favorite. However, recent events had raised questions about his ability to maintain consistency and momentum, so he needed more than just a win to silence doubters and prove his best days were not behind him. And that's exactly what AJ did, delivering one of his best displays in recent years. It was vintage AJ on display, confidently jabbing and moving forward, dictating the pace against Wallin. Wallin struggled to find his rhythm, unable to overcome Joshua's jab and right hand to mount any significant offense as Joshua landed heavy shots and constantly pushed Wallin onto the defensive, and finished things off in the fifth round with a strong right-left combination. With this, Joshua secured his third win of the year and his 27th professional career victory, showing the world he still got more in the tank.